Well, another popular conversation related to equity, specifically racial equity, as you know, is the cost of higher education. We know that Black students in the U.S. hold substantially more debt than their white counterparts by age 25. And some lawmakers, as a result, want to cancel all or most student debt. Quite a few lawmakers do not. Do you think doing that, canceling student debt, at least some of it, would promote more racial and economic equity?
Yeah, and this is why I loved your question earlier when you were talking with Professor Darling, is to really understand, and it's to understand the historic and
Mhm.
systematic nature of how racism and white supremacy has affected this country. And if we go back and look at historical understandings about that, then we are better able to step into this conversation. And what we know is that the income and the generational wealth that has been lost in Black and Brown communities as a result of systemic racism is one indeed that we must pay attention to. So, if we want to have conversations about students, why do students take out in large parts significant amounts of student loan? It is because they do not have family, come from families that have the ability to make investments in their education from savings. These are oftentimes students as well who are trying to work and go to school at the same time. And yes, there are going to be some who will say, yes, this student took out thousands of dollars of debt and they did not use that for schooling. They used it for other things. I think those are outliers and misnomers that are, red herrings to distract us from the conversation that really needs to be had. We know that many students take out high numbers of student debt because they want their families to have their future to have their version of the American dream. And the reality about this is that student debt is it is crippling a generation. You talked about millennials, you talk about Gen Xers. I have friends of mine who know they will be paying student debt until the day they retire because but it changed their life, it changed their family's life. But the reality about this is that it also impacts every other part of their life, their ability to own home, their ability to have certain jobs, their ability to navigate a future for themselves and also their own children. So for me, the conversation is that if you want to have a conversation about abating or somehow reducing loan and loan forgiveness for student loans for students who carry significant amounts of debt, the conversation cannot be absent from how do we get into this situation in the first place. And that to me is the greater part of the conversation that needs to occur. Personally, I believe that if we can create upward mobility for students and their families by helping them have their access to the economic pipelines that move this country forward, I think we're all better served. And that's the part we keep thinking about education as an individual right and an individual
Mhm.
benefit. Here's the dirty secret, Eugene. It's not even a dirty secret. It's the truth, is
Mm.
that it benefits all of us if we choose to live in
Societal
an
good, yeah.
educated society. Exactly.
Mhm.